yourself safe from predators. Ooh, look very closely. We're going to see one of these animals hiding behind the bushes. They are super hard to spot. The greater kudu. They're a grayish-brown species of antelope. You can just see their legs poking out from underneath those bushes there. The greater kudu's coat color is almost exactly the same as some of these rocks in the tree bark that we're seeing, a very light grayish-brown. And they are one of those animals that rely on this dense vegetation to keep themselves safe. And that's why we take the issue of deforestation really seriously. If these animals don't have these trees and other vegetation to hide behind, then they're left defenseless. So a great way to help protect them is by using less paper products, and consider using products made out of bamboo. Bamboo is a super awesome sustainable resource because it can grow 4 feet in 1 day. And now friends, we're going to drive along the Safi River for a while. We're first going to see the river on our right, and I recommend checking out the riverbank and the water for any animal activity. Ooh, I go 2 weeks ago, feeling very clearly high overhead. You can just see that baby hippo. You guys see her over there? Those baby hippos are usually really difficult to spot because they spend most of their time underwater. That's where they do all of their nursing. Baby hippos know instinctively when to close off their nostrils and their ears so they can spend as much time nursing under the water as possible. Hippos are pregnant for about 8 months before they give birth, and those little babies that pop out can weigh anywhere from 80 to about 100 pounds. We can see another hippo right next to us on the left, friends, making her way through the water so gracefully. For all the time the hippos are not in the water, you think they'd be really excellent swimmers. However, they're a little too heavy to float in the water, so instead what they do is let themselves sink to the bottom, and they walk or run along the bottom of the river, and that's how they get around down there. We're also seeing lots of these birds next to us. Those black ones are African vultures, and the white ones we saw a little bit ago were the pink-backed pelicans. Let's keep making our way through here, friends. Looks like next after this waterfall on our left, we're going to see some Nile crocodile down there. These guys are the largest species of crocodile in all of Africa. They can grow to be about 16 feet long, weigh up to 500 pounds, and live to be 30 years old. These crocodiles mostly like to eat whatever fish they can find when they're in the river. Anything that crosses their path, and they're able to do that thanks to their super strong jaws. Crocodiles can crush them. They're super strong as well because seal dogs are all taking the little stills over there. These dogs are also called the painted dogs for the spotted colors that they have on their coats. They are super social and family-oriented animals. All of these dogs go out of their way to make sure that other members of their pack are staying safe and protected out in the wild. And keep a close eye over on our left, right behind this bush, friends. We're going to see those reddish-brown antelope called the Sable Antelope. They've got those gorgeous horns that curve backward toward their hind legs, and those horns prevent predators from jumping onto their backs to keep them safe. And coming up next to us, guys, we're going to see these white-bearded wildebeest, these gray animals. White-bearded wildebeest have a super strong herd mentality, and they like to stay together as much as they can for protection. And we can see some Maasai giraffes right behind them there. We do have a really large group of giraffes on our reserve. The groups are also called towers, such a fitting name since giraffes are the tallest mammal on the planet. Adult giraffes can be about 20 feet tall when they're fully grown, but even newborns can be up to 6 feet tall at birth. We just saw all of those giraffes just munching away on some food. Giraffes do spend most of the day eating, anywhere from 16 to 20 hours of the day eating in food. But they have really large bodies, so they need to eat a lot of food to make sure they are properly fueling themselves. We're going to see another giraffe coming up here, also on our left-hand side. Giraffes are able to reach a lot of their food thanks to their tongues, which can grow to be 2 feet long inside of their mouth. You can see her right next to us using hers to get up on that tree there. If those tongues are long enough, the giraffes can use them to lick their eyeballs and clean out their ears. But mostly they just use their tongues when they're eating to grasp at leaves. And their tongues are prehensile, which means that they are dexterous and they can quite literally grasp at leaves while they're eating. Oh, you can see that tongue reaching way up high over there. Giraffes are also able to reach a lot of their food thanks to their necks, which, as you can see, are super flexible. Giraffes can reach way up high and then bend down almost vertically downward to reach whatever food or water source they're trying to get to. Looks like we're going to see a couple more giraffes coming up here, friends. Oh, there's another great view of the ankle camel here on our right, friends. Now, these guys are also called the Watusi cattle. They're named after the vegetation throughout the day, so they want to make sure they're sticking close to areas that have lots of that vegetation for themselves and the rest of their herd. You can also see a little bit of grass on top of the elephant right next to us on our left-hand side. We will see elephants grabbing at grass and throwing it back onto themselves because it acts as a barrier between their skin and the sunlight. They have super sensitive skin, so we'll see them using objects like that, as well as dirt and mud as a sunblock. Looks like we're going to see a couple more elephants making our way through on our left. Let's see if we can see them a little more clearly up here, friends. Millions of flamingos. And these guys are called the greater flamingos. just missed him right next to us there. Warthogs are related to the domestic pig, but unlike your average pig, they have those tusks that grow on either side of their snout. Their tusks are super strong, and that's what they use to dig their little burrows that you can see right next to us. They are the largest burrowing land mammal on the planet. Warthogs like to back up into their burrows and then leave their tusks sticking out while they sleep, and that wards away predators and helps them to sleep a lot more peacefully. Physically fit, but right now looks like they're all resting or having a nice little